What's up? This is my new video about the Quran or whatever and how it's false. And what I noticed was when I asked questions about we in the Quran about God's not supposed to Allah is supposed to not have no helper. So we was like why is it we all through the Quran? For example, Surah 2. And behold, we said to the angels, bow down to Adam, and they bowed down. Not so, Iblis, he refused, and was haughty, and he was of those who reject the faith. Reminder, it says, and behold, we said to the angels. And Surah 2:35, we said, O Adam, dwell thou and thy wife in the garden. So when I'm asking about who's we, all of a sudden I hear that we stands for royalty, and that's what it stands for. But then it says we and the word R, O-U-R, saying we and R. So if you say we and R stands for royalty, there's no reason why the word I should be in there. So it says, he said, O Adam, tell them their names. When he had told them, Allah said, did I not tell you that I know the secrets of heaven and earth, and I know what ye reveal? So if we was used for majesty or whatever people were trying to claim it was for, that doesn't make sense, because there should never be I in it if we was used for God as him being uh plural respect, which doesn't really make sense. And it was from something in the 1100s that has nothing to do with speaking in Arabic. So it also says in Surah 2, 40, O children of Israel, call to mind the special favor which I bestowed upon you, and fulfill your covenant. Why didn't it say we that time? Why does it say I? So we must understand that when it says we, it's speaking when the person that was saying we was Muhammad, making it seem like he was with God while all these things were happening, especially the creation. It says, and remember, in Surah 2 it says, and remember, we gave we gave Moses the scripture in Surah 2:53. Why doesn't it say, and remember, I gave the scriptures to Moses? Because the we in it was actually Muhammad. So that's not even what it is about. But I want you to understand the difference between we and I. And now I'm about to go to the main thing about this that makes everything in the Quran not make sense, because this right here shows a whole contradiction of everything that has been taught about it. Let me find it. Where the heck did it go? For example, let me speak on this. It's told that the Quran was sent down to Muhammad, right? If a Quran is sent down to somebody, that doesn't need to be written. Me sending the Quran down will come like this, already complete, everything in it already. There's no reason why anything would have to be written. So yes, it is written by man, and it's not from God. Like a book didn't come down from the sky to somebody and it just came as the Quran. Like it didn't come like this. He spoke things and somebody wrote it for him, and he claimed it was from God. So that's what you have to accept, unless you're going to tell me that a book literally came from the sky. If it was like that, then there would be no reason, or I wouldn't even be speaking on what I'm about to speak on right now. And this is the problem with the whole Quran that I'm about to read to you now. Surah 2:106. We do not abrogate a verse or cause it to be forgotten, except that we bring forth one better than it or similar to it. Do you know that Allah is over all things competent? First off, if the Quran was sent down, why would you need to abrogate anything? That makes it seem like God couldn't make up his mind what he was going to do in the Quran. Yet the Quran was already supposed to be from him, and the Quran is supposed to be next to him. Yet he doesn't even know what is going to be in it in the future. So it's saying that um, you can pretty much change a verse. So abrogate means, this is what abrogate means. Abrogate means to end or cancel something in the form of in an official way. So if the Quran was already supposedly being from God, why would it need to change anything? If the Quran was the perfect book, you wouldn't need to do anything with it. And in my Quran by Yusuf Ali, in Surah 2:106, it says, Surah 2:106 says, and this is a big contradiction. If you want to say we and us, we and our are from God, and you want to say that is for royalty, which I remind you, I'm reading the first surah I read, 2:106, came from online, and that's from Sahih International. But the one I'm reading right now is Yusuf Ali, and this one was before the online, before they even had the internet. So this says, none of our revelations do we start over. None of our revelations do we abrogate or cause to be forgotten, but we substitute something better or similar. So if you want to say our and we stands for God in this scripture, which somebody already told me that it stood for Allah, none of our revelation do we abrogate or cause to be forgotten, but we substitute. If if Allah from the Quran is all knowing, why would he need revelation? Isn't he supposed to be the God that knows all things? So why would he need revelation to change something in the future for something that's already supposed to be written and completed already? That doesn't make any sense for God to send a book that's not finished, but say that if he has other revelation, it will be changed. And the main things are our revelation. Who's our? Do you want to say Muhammad is our? So if Muhammad couldn't write, he was speaking about him and God. You got to use that for everything. Even when he talk about did we send down the scriptures, he's talking about himself, making it seem like he was with God, and he also created man with God. If you want to use our and we for plural royalty or whatever, y'all want to claim that it is. But if you wanted to stick by it being Muhammad, none of our revelation do we abrogate or cause to be forgotten, but we substitute. So that is saying that what he's writing, not God, what he's writing, he can abrogate. But remember, he couldn't write because he was illiterate. So that means that it was somebody else writing it for him, which he couldn't read or write because he was illiterate. So the Quran wasn't even written by Muhammad, but by somebody with Muhammad. So it goes from supposed to be sent down from God to if we it comes from God. It comes down from supposed to be in a Bible. I mean, Quran supposed to be from Allah, and he was supposed to have wrote this already before he sent it down. Yet Muhammad had to write it, which he couldn't write, which somebody wrote it for him. So if you want to use him, it shows that it was written by man. But if you want to say this is scripture is about Allah, this is saying that Allah needs revelation. And the definition of revelation is a surprising and previously unknown fact. That means that Allah does not know what is going to happen or what he's going to write in the future from a book that was supposedly already be next to him. Do we see the contradiction here? It doesn't It doesn't make sense at all. And then it says, something better or similar knowest thou not that Allah hath power over all things. Why would he say, if this scripture is about him, why would he say, his name if he's just saying God? So let's change this. None of our revelations do we abrogate or cause to be forgotten, but we substitute something better or similar. Knowest thou not that God have power over all things? So if it's God speaking about himself, he says, know that Allah has. Do you know that this is God speaking? Do you know that God has power over all things? Or is it Muhammad again with somebody else writing for him saying that they can abrogate or change scripture? So I mean, I can pretty much, if I keep trying to go on and on, I'm gonna go in a circle. But you can pretty much see that this is going to leave in a circle of contradiction of either Muhammad's revelation or God's revelation. If it's not Muhammad's revelation, it's God's revelation. You have to pick one. But whoever revelation it is, they didn't know. So if you want to put this revelation that needs to be known to abrogate scripture, you're going to have to say God doesn't know everything or Allah doesn't know everything, or you're going to say Muhammad doesn't know everything. And if he doesn't know everything, it's telling you that he's writing as he goes along. And it might, I hope y'all really understand this, but it just leaves you in a circle of something that doesn't really add up to what it claims.